Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to Cheap Comic Collector. This is episode number 288. And hope everybody's having a good Friday. Huh. It's Good Friday. Get it? Yeah, all right. So there's my attempted humor for the day. Um Today we're going to be looking at some comics. But these are not comics that will be going into the claim sale. They are ones that I've read that are part of my collection, and also I got this package in from eBay. Ordered a few books, facsimile books that normally I, I paid over. I paid almost cover price for these. I think with shipping and handling, it was pretty much cover price. But the one that I really wanted was the new Teen Titans, one that came out in December that I missed. And I wanted to make sure I got a hold of one of those. Actually, never owned a copy of New Teen Titans #1. I think, I owned the DC Comics Presents that introduced them back in the day. And then I don't think I picked up an issue. I don't think I saw an issue until 4 or 5. And then, of course, I picked up just about every one I saw after that. But there were gaps because, I was, at the time, I didn't have much money. I think I was would have still been buying off an allowance or whatever money I could scrape together by not eating lunch in school. I used to take my lunch money and buy comic books with it. But you'd have to find them at 7-Elevens and Walgreens and stuff like that, and they were getting harder and harder to find because stores were starting to stop carrying them. And anyway, I just never actually had a copy of that before. So what I got Incredible Hulk #180, the facsimile, where he's fighting the Wendigo. Let me turn the magical light on, get rid of that glare. Sorry about that. It's funny how there's this great big influx of glare and then it just fades away. I like that. Marvel Family #1. I was happy to grab that. If they had just had New Teen Titans and I had to pay full shipping, I wouldn't have got these. I would have still waited, but yeah, really, really happy to get this one. And I also got the Omega Men #3, which introduces a Lobo. Now, I'm not the biggest Lobo fan, so I could care less that this introduces Lobo, but I needed #3 to complete my Omega Men run. So I now have a complete run of Omega Men. I can start reading it. And yeah, so that fills that run for me because I'm, looking for a buck or cheaper. I'm never going to find a copy of Omega Men #3. So yeah, got those in the mail today. Ordered them a couple days ago, and they're here already. So that's awesome. Always fun to get comics in the mail. And those are just going to go straight into the collection. And then I read some stuff. I read Uncle Scrooge, #136. Kind of a silly kids gag with Uncle Scrooge enjoying his dollar-shaped harp there. And I got an ad for the Bionic Woman Beauty Salon from Kenner. And this one's been around a bit. It's got some yellowed pages, but it was a fun read. It's called Uncle Scrooge Deep Down Doings. It was originally printed in Uncle Scrooge 37. This is #136 from 1977. So, and I don't remember reading this story. Now, it's It's not one of the funniest ones, but I don't remember it. I honestly do not remember reading this story before, so that's always a plus for me. So Uncle Scrooge is at sea. He's trying to get treasure out of a sunken ship that they located, and the Beagle Boys are on his trail, of course, and so the whole story revolves around them trying to keep the treasure safe from the Beagle Boys. Got interrupted by a Captain America Hostess fruit pies ad, which are always fun. And yeah, so they find treasure chest of pearls, and to keep them from the Beagle Boys, they're able to sneak out of the ship out of a secret airlock that the Beagle Boys don't know about, and so they tie strings of pearls on the tails of all these salmon, and figure on getting them later. But they hadn't thought about that they don't know where the salmon are going. So, the Beagle Boys spend a page looking for the pearls unsuccessfully, and then the ducks aren't happy, but they learn about salmon hatcheries. So they learn that the red fins that they noticed on the salmon indicate that they're returning to a particular river, and so they're able to go and get the pearls, and then it just kind of ends quickly. It's a pretty quick story. It's almost an educational story about salmon as much as anything else, but it was fun. Got an Uncle Scrooge one-page gag where he won't let the gas station attendant check under the hood because it's filled with money. The engine's in the back of the car. Must be one of those European imports. And we got fun tricks and free things from the Gandalf Products Company. Got a squirting nickel, smoking fingers, sneezing powder, magical light bulb. I always wanted the mini camera. I wanted to be a spy. And then we got another one from Uncle Scrooge 39. This one's called Tricky Experiment. Is that the same issue? No, this one was from 37. This one's from 39. So, in this particular issue, the centerfolds are loose from the bottom staple. But that's okay. As long as it's all there and I can read it, that's fine with me. And let's see, it's been a few days since I read this one. What is it? Oh, Uncle Scrooge is storing his money in this round thing, building basically, and the Beagle Boys thinks it's wide open, and it turns out that Uncle Scrooge can control it with a remote control by sitting at his house and watching it on television. So he's basically having fun with the Beagle Boys and so on and so forth. So it ends up with everybody in court, including Uncle Scrooge, in front of the judge. So, and then another one. This one's from Uncle Scrooge 38, called Much Luck McDuck. And Uncle Scrooge is trying to sell the property next door to Donald Duck, where the kids play. So they're trying to ruin the sale. And fun stories. Nothing momentous about them. They're just fun little reads. Karl Barks did some shorter stories, and they're all good. They're all good. And there's some more fun tricks and free things in the mail. You got the Magic Money Maker, and the Exploding Pen, and the 7-foot-tall monsters. And the Bionic Battle, Colonel Steve Austin versus Maskatron from Kenner. Join now the $6 Million Man Bionic Action Club. I used to have one of the $6 Million Man dolls, where you could look through his eye and but it had a little removable thing on his arm where there was, a sticker of electronics underneath the skin part, and it was fun. It was a neat toy. And something for girls from Dusty's Bubbling Bath and Shower, from Kenner. Everything's from Kenner. Those are the only ads that were in here. Kenner ads, Hostess, and the joke products from. Oh, there's a couple others that I didn't notice. I guess the regular patch of the cartoon characters, and science kits. Cool stuff. Very fun. Then we get to Danger Unlimited, the 4-issue series from John Byrne, where some people feel he was trying to reinvent the Fantastic Four. He kind of says in the letter columns in these issues that no, that's not the case, even though he stated that that's what he was doing. It was, he claims, he's trying to walk it back and claims that, he was basically, that's not exactly what he meant. But, so you can make up your own mind about that. These stories were pretty good. I do have a couple nitpicks. I thought, since it was John Byrne, I thought I would like it a little bit better than I did. But part of that is my fault, because I read them in the wrong order. I read number 4 first, thinking it was number 1. And I think then I went to number 2 thinking it was number 1, and then number 1, and then number 3. So I read them about completely out of order as much as you can. So I was like, man, this story jumps around a lot. But it was all on me that I read them out of order. I don't know why I did. I just assumed I had them in order, and I thought I did, and they were all messed up. So, and then I realized after I read the 4th issue that it wasn't number 1. But then I still didn't read number 1. I grabbed number 2 or whatever number I did read. I don't really know for sure. But so it was more confusing than it needed to be because of that. But it's also a little bit confusing anyway, because he's trying to tell 2 different stories at the same time. And so it'll jump between the 2 different times, because while you have the present time, he's also trying to tell the origin of the original Dangers Unlimited team. And that will, so it'll jump back in time, it'll jump forward in time, back and forth, but they don't really tell you that. They just do it. There's no, there's no little narration box saying, oh, it's 1956 or whatever year it's supposed to be. They don't do that. So it's a little bit confusing. But anyway, so what happens is there used to be a Danger Unlimited team of heroes, and they're fighting an alien invasion, basically. And they all disappear. All the heroes disappear. The aliens win. So now you're in the future. It's 2060, and Earth is controlled by the aliens. So everybody's basically working for the aliens, providing whatever they need, and the story starts out with that. And it starts to introduce the new team. These characters are going into the old Dangers Unlimited headquarters. They're supposed to destroy it or something, but they got a life reading. So they get this guy out of some kind of stasis tube, and he's one of the original members of the original Danger Unlimited. And so this is the first time jump. It goes to this, and then it shows this, which explains how he got put there in the first place. So he's basically dreaming. He wakes up, and yeah, they're talking to him, and so on and so forth. And then this is one of the cops that was exposed to the gunk that gave the original Dangers Unlimited team their powers. And so she got exposed and turned into this thing. And they're worried about her, and then she changes back to human form. Nobody knows why. It's all experimental, blah, 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 blah. And it's pretty good. It's interesting. You know, it's a little confusing because they're revealing things as they go instead of just telling a straightforward story. And since it was only a 4-issue miniseries, honestly, that kind of stinks because you only got 4 issues to tell your story. I think it should be told a little more straightforward than what it is. But that's my opinion. And then there's a backup story featuring the Torch of Liberty, which is basically a patriotic character who is involved in later issues. It shows that he's involved with the Danger Unlimited team, but these are kind of just backup stories to introduce him back in the day of World War II. I actually enjoyed this story much more than the main story. And the main story, of course, was by John Byrne. The Torch of Liberty was created and written by John Byrne and penciled and inked by Karen Dwyer. So, but these were a much more straightforward story. They were good. I actually enjoyed the backup more than I did the Danger Unlimited stories. Not because the Danger Unlimited story wasn't good. It is. I hate time jumps, and especially hate time jumps when they don't tell you that they're time jumping. So the second issue starts off again back in 1965. At least it tells us here that it's in 1965. But when they jump to present day, they don't tell you. It just starts on present day. So and then they jump right back to 1959. But again, at least they told you that time that it's 1959. But then they jump right back to present day again without telling you. And it's just, is it really that hard to put just a little square box up there that tells you what year you're looking at? And I don't. It's just, it jumps back and forth too much. It's basically telling 2 stories at the same time, and I think it would have been actually better to tell both stories straightforward. If you wanted to tell them both at the same time, have 2 stories. Have a story with the old team and a story with the new team, and just do it that way. Yeah, it would have made for a much user-friendly read. And again, they had the Torch and Liberty backup, which again was good. Like I said, I enjoyed those because it's very solidly written. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only 5-6 pages long. But it's a complete story. It's very well done. And the back covers show it's not really pencils because it looks like it's been inked, but it hasn't been colored. So it's basically the same as the front. This is what a colorist does for it. Otherwise it would look like that. So, and same thing on the second issue. This is the cover, and that's the back cover in black and white. Issue number 3 with this guy's weird head. This guy actually gets intentionally exposes himself to the gunk and gets powers where he splits into 3 different people. So kind of like Triplicate Girl and Legion of Superheroes, except it appears to be permanent. They don't like go back into each other. There's just now 3 of the guy. And they're basically getting around to forming the new Danger Unlimited with, and again, they're flashing back to what happened years and years ago before the guy got put in stasis. So he's the only one from the original team, as far as they know, that is still alive. Everybody thought they were all dead. The heroes are all dead. And they want to find the new team as they're putting it together. They want to find a way to defeat the aliens, even though humanity as a whole is comfortable with the way things are. They don't especially want them to defeat the aliens because the aliens provide everything that they need. So yeah, and then again, Torch of Liberty story in the back. And the back cover. And number 4, the in my opinion, the best of the bunch of the 4 covers. And yeah, so they basically decide to form their new team and try to defeat the aliens, even though nobody really wants them to. And that was the end. But they don't. I don't know if the team ever came back. I don't know if there was another series. I don't know, what happened to all that. The Torch and Liberty's story in the 4th one, same creative team, but the art's a little bit different, with the newsreel style footage of what they're showing, I guess. But and then the Torch of Liberty, I think, actually went off into his own series. So so I guess somebody else thought he was the better choice of a character as well. But actually, the series was good. It was good, and I enjoyed it. But I mean, they do that in novels sometimes too, when they'll time jump around and stuff instead of just telling you what's going on, and I don't like that. I've never cared for that. So anyway, that's what I read, and that's what I got in the mail. I got some other stuff in the mail too. I got a bunch of I got three more Whatnot boxes today, so those are stacking up. I gotta stop. That's what I have to do. I have to stop buying. All right. Hope everybody's having a great Easter weekend. We got the claim sale tomorrow, so if you have time, please join me for that. We'll be showing all the books that we showed this week from the Comics Den box and the Whatnot box. These comics that you saw today will not be included, because these are going into the collection. And that's about it. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. Thanks for joining me today. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow. And please like and subscribe. Thank you.